Ready when you are.
Fabulous. Okay then. So good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our November Construction Jobs Club. I'll introduce myself to people who are new to this. So Sean Hall from the West Midlands Combined Authority. I'm glad that everybody can take the time out this afternoon in their busy schedules to join us and hopefully learn more about what, one, we're doing in the region, two, what we're doing in sector, and three, the opportunities that specific employers who are joining us for the November session have brought along today. So really glad to see colleagues from Lend-Lease, also from Careys and equally VGC today, who've agreed to be panel members to provide as much information as possible on what opportunities will exist for local residents and stakeholder partners. So if we can just do some housekeeping rules in terms of what we need to do for everybody. If you're not presenting, if you keep yourself on mute, we don't mind the cameras because that's always useful for any social media. But as a result, if you don't want to be seen on social media or on the screen grab, because we will be recording the session to upload to YouTube afterwards, you might want to become anonymous. But hopefully we all want to be a Hollywood movie star at some point in the future. So we'll be able to use this as the first introduction to that new opportunity that people have. So headlines for me in terms of the regional economy at the moment, things are booming, folks. Really, really strong in terms of activity in the region. Just recently speaking to our Metro Mayor Andy Street, we're seeing an ever-growing opportunity boost that's coming through. Major infrastructure improvements. Some of you, like myself, may have seen the recent budget announcement where we got a £1 billion investment for this region. That is phenomenal. Not many other regions got to the investment from Chancellor that we had in this region. So a lot of that investment will be going around cycle routeways, electrical infrastructure, charging points, and again support with the sprint bus route that will take people from Walsall all the way down to Solihull on a double stacked bus. But again, in terms of civil engineering, a huge amount of work that's got to be done in terms of improving that infrastructure that exists. So in terms of today, this is the next evolution of our jobs club. They will be happening same time, same place each month.
Hello.
As we move forward. Okay. What we want to do now is keep people updated in terms of opportunities. So without further ado, I'd like to move across to a good colleague of mine, in Rita. Rita represents Lend-Lease in the region. So Rita, I think this is a good opportunity where you can tell us more about what Lend-Lease are doing in the region and how local people can opt in to what Lend-Lease have got in this region at this moment in time, please. If that's okay.
Yeah, of course, no problem at all, Sean. And thank you very much for inviting me along to talk at the Jobs Club. So I'm Rita Patel-Miller and I'm the Social Value Lead for Lend-Lease in the Midlands. So Lend-Lease are a global property development group. So we are investors and developers. We also build, design and construct, and the buildings and kind of places that we create, we also asset and property manage those and own some of those as well. So we operate across the world in 12 countries, 4 continents. We employ over 13,000 people across the world. So if you do embark on a career with Lend-Lease, you are able to work anywhere across the world. We're an Australian business, so our headquarters are in Sydney, and in England we have headquarters in London, Birmingham and Manchester. So what are we doing in the Midlands then? So actually, before I go on to that, just wanted to say that some of our world-class project portfolio there, you can see some key things like the Kuala Lumpur Towers, so the Petronas Towers are in Kuala Lumpur, the Sydney Opera House, which you would expect, some work in Disneyland Paris, but more closer to home. In London, we've been working on the Elephant Park project, and even closer then in the West Midlands, we are currently the principal contractor for the Perry Bar residential scheme, which is probably more better known, if you like, as being the athlete village that isn't, if you like, but we are still creating over 1,000 new homes in the Perry Bar area, which is absolutely fantastic. And already to date, we have created over 300 new jobs for the local area and for local people. We've got some public realm work starting in February, and I know my colleague Tom will be talking to you a little bit about Careys, and Careys will be completing that work for us then. And currently at Perry Bar, We've got about 12 to 14 months to go, and we've when we're currently looking for the finishing trade. So we're looking like for your painter, decorators, tilers, finishers, all those kind of roles. And also what we have got coming up, if you like, in the wings is that we also are the developer in a joint venture partnership for the Birmingham Smithfield project as well. And that is going to be a 10 to 15 year regeneration project, the biggest thing in Birmingham since the Bullring, really, creating over 2,000 new homes, a new community park, a new square, a new market area and a new public space as well. So currently we're in the design and planning stages of that project, and we're expecting the main construction works to start in around 23-24, but this activity has started there at the minute. And just to give you an idea of some of the roles that are involved on our site, you've got a whole list there of the kind of things that we look for, right from archaeologists to look at the sort of site and do all the kind of surveys, right round to ecologists, sustainability, which is really important to us. And obviously with all the green kind of skills coming up now and climate change, COP26, that's something that we're really kind of embracing. And alongside all of your kind of traditional trades and professional roles as well, from project management, construction management, right up to commercial, financial and design roles as well. I'm going to kind of stop there because I've kind of given you a bit of a background to what we do and keeping it to point and focus around jobs. But what I would like to say is that we're working very closely with RMF Fresh Start on this, and it's having that kind of local connection so that they can identify and train local people and feed them up into us as employers. And it's really important for us to have that relationship with them so that we can put together a trades forecast, tell them about these skills that we're looking for so that they can then respond to us. And also it's about us telling them early enough so that we can make sure that, you know, local people can prepare and get trained for the roles that we're looking for. And it's absolutely working really brilliantly at Perry Bar for us at the minute. So a very, very keen advocate for the whole collaborative and joint working. Over back to you, Sean, unless there's anything else you would like me to expand on.
No, thanks, Rita. And I think just that general assurance piece that you're actively recruiting in this region at this moment in time is the key bit, because obviously from today we want to make sure that as many people are rapidly moving through to jobs. But in order to do that, they need to understand about where those jobs are, what type of jobs they are, and equally how they go about applying. So it's great that Priya's put the link immediately into the chat that sits alongside this meeting today. It says if you were interested today, folks, about any of the roles that potentially exist within the Lend-Lease organisation, this is how you would initially go about finding out about them. If you've got opportunities where you think you could move into those roles, this is how you could apply. And equally, if you feel as though there's gaps in terms of your knowledge or skill currently, there's opportunities linked to the Fresh Start programme that you could do things about that too. So, no, I appreciate that, Rita. And it's really good to see those showcase projects that you've got around the globe. But for me, always keen to understand more about those ones that are happening in the region. So the work in Perry Bar, really phenomenal in terms of what it's doing for our community. So thank you for that.
Sean, I'd just like to say, I know you know me, I'd like to get the last word, but there we are. I just wanted to just say as well that we have got the on-site construction training centre as well. So, you know, we are able to train people on site through the West Midlands Combined Authority, and RMF are managing that for us as well. So again, you know, there's that opportunity to train on a live construction site as well. I will stop now.
Okay, so I think it's next we move on to Tom at Carey's, just to find out a little bit more about what's happening in the civil engineering space.
Thank you, Sean. I'll just bring up the presentation.
Well, Tom's preparing. It's probably a good opportunity to just promote further for any job seekers in the region that want help and support around gaining access to public transport to get to those project sites like Perry Bar. There is a link in the chat that tells people about a subsidy of free subsidised public transport that allows people to apply and get greater access when you're moving to and into that job that you want to start in the region. So that's another plug from the Combined Authority here.
Just got to make sure I've got the sound on, Sean. I've got a 90-second video that I just kind of gives you a better overview than probably I will. So I just want to make sure I've got the sound. I've had a few glitches on training sessions where I haven't had the sound on. So please, Sean, shout me if you don't hear anything. Can you all see my screen? Sean, can you see
We
that?
can, Tom, yeah.
So thank you to Sean for the invite and the Priya from RMF. We're kind of building a real good and solid relationship with RMF, working close with Dara and Ray. Have been influential in us working around Birmingham, helping us sort of tap into some great opportunities for labour. So a bit about Care is I'm the regional director for the Midlands. So I've been sort of put in place to kind of enhance what we offer in Birmingham, and also reaching out to the unemployed, the less disadvantaged. It's all about that we care. It's in our slogan. So that's my role. Whilst to build, it's to create something special within employment, push to get lots of people in Birmingham and the West Midlands in employment through carers. So just a couple of things around us. It's our vision. Again, it's stars in the eyes. It's to be the most trusted and socially responsible construction company that people are proud to work for, and that's come from our CEO. We want to enhance not just what we build, but as I say, communities. We want to create a great place to work. Partners of choice like West Midlands authorities, like Lend-Lease, like RMF. These are all our partners. So we want to work closer with these guys and really sort of reach out to as many people and spectrums as we can. And we want to create operational excellence. We're very 50 years of just building amazing structures, creating amazing landscapes, and we want to continue on that. So short video now, guys, 90 seconds, and it'll just give you a real bit about our history. "50
years ago, three brothers began building their legacy. They grew a company that has never forgotten the values at its heart. A company driven by one simple idea: to care. You see it in every detail, every measurement, every choice we make. It's in arriving each day with the same drive as we left the last, and to never rest in our pursuit of being better every day. Because caring means creating amazing environments, where the smallest of actions can stand the tallest, and the simplest of ideas can burn the brightest. That our success lies in reaching beyond the imagination. We are the new inventors, explorers, thinkers and creators that find adventure and discovery in everything we do. Because caring is taking pride in how we build the world around us, to never stop investing in our people, and to remember what makes us truly special. That 50 years later, that simple idea means more now than ever. After all, it's in our name.
So thanks. I think that kind of makes the hairs down the back of my neck. I've been here a long time. I'm very proud to work for Careys, and coming through the kind of trade route, I was very good with these and very good with this. Unfortunately, I'm very privileged to be where I am today, but I'm very proud of coming from the tools and coming from a background which probably didn't have a journey, a career path set for me, apart from I just wanted to build. So I was very proud of the way Careys have shaped me as a person as well as a leader for the business. So really great company, and that says a lot about us. So just a couple of schemes, Sean. As we talked about, we're very lucky to be on Perry Barr. We were the first contractor in there. We enhanced the whole footprint, remediated it, brought it all up to level, put all the roads, sewers, drainage, power. It was a £20 million contract, design and build. So as you can see, it's evolved from them. We then won the concrete frame there for Kier, which we've now developed. And again, we're fortunate enough now to be securing a multi-million-pound scheme to make it look pretty, enhance the public space. So there's a real drive for us. I think at one peak, there's probably potentially 50 guys, pavers, labourers, banksmen that we're going to need. So there's quite a demand, and that starts in April. So again, with the fresh start, we linked with RMF and the Jobs Club, we really hope to kind of start developing some openings and opportunities on this space, and kind of we'll hopefully share more on that. And this is plot 6. This is what we've developed and we built. As you can see, it's moved a lot. That was the same picture, but this is 2 years down the line. So it's quite an impressive structure, one of many. But this is what we're about. You know, we want to shape structures like this. We want to get new guys to evolve and be part of something like this. It's very impressive to walk past, and probably like most builders, your dad says, I built that as you go past in the car. So I think we've all done it. So quite proud to see something like that come out of the ground. So we've also got a job in Birmingham in Heartlands Hospital, which I'm not sure if you're aware, it's on the P22 framework with Kia. Again, it's another concrete frame, very poignant to getting the investment from the NHS, which we like to work for. So that kind of jobs that are ongoing and or in a very good space, showing our sort of what we're intentions in doing in Birmingham. This is what I wanted to sort of speak, Sean, and kind of I'll finish on, is where our jobs are. We've got some real projects that are close by, as I said, the public realm. We've got a significant job starting in this side of the year, which is an energy for waste in Kelvin Way in West Bromwich, which is very, very close to signing contract this week. Another student accommodation in Birmingham, Dogpool Lane, is another one that's close to securing it. Again, we hope to be part of the Smithfield plan, which I hope these guys will involve us. We've got the public realm at Wolverhampton, which I think all about the public enhancement. We're playing part in that. We did the Coventry piece as well with Eurovia. And Paradise, we was up there last night at a networking event, and the work and the opportunities in and around Paradise are phenomenal for us all. So there's the closing question is, we're in desperate need of people that want to be part of that video and have a legacy at Carers and be as long as I have. So reaching out to everyone that's on the call that says there is a job for you. If I can be a success, then I'm sure there's better people out there than me. So that's our recruitment down there, Sean. There's a details there that I can share with Priya, and have that, and we can do it whichever way, direct or through the Fresh Start. We just want the people with us. We don't mind where how we get them. So that's a bit of what we're about. There we are, and I look forward to hopefully meeting or get an opportunity to see you guys in the future and on some of our schemes.
Yeah, Tom, I very much appreciate that, because I think that's a useful content, both in terms of the national picture and the regional picture. I think there's a couple of points that it would be remiss of me if I didn't make it. It would always be good if in the car Mom said, "That's what I built," because it's not all about dads anymore. We know that loud and clear. And I know if I didn't mention that, Rita would make sure that I was chastised after today. This is a sector which will embrace all individuals from all backgrounds of all sexes. And we've got to be actively looking to recruit to our workforces that diversity, both from a community perspective and equally the diversity from what's sitting around us in terms of friends and family. We are all advocates in the same right to these positions that exist. So Tom, I would suggest in the first instance, anybody that's interested in a role in Carey's, and yeah, the hairs did lift on my neck a little bit. And it's really interesting to see as the job clubs evolve, that competition that comes from employers, folks. So if you haven't already been in one of our sessions earlier, that's the first time somebody's played the video. So let's see in December, this could be raise the bar one stage further, and see what else we can do. So no, appreciate that, Tom. I think it's really useful contribution and really helpful. So I think at this point we'll move on to our third presenter today, in terms of James from VGC, to see what opportunities that the VGC have got currently available for local residents. So over to you, James.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, I did enjoy that video as well, Tom. Just I'll say that. Priya, do you know who has my slides? Slide.
Yeah, so Olivia will be uploading this.
Brilliant. Right now. It's not a lot of slides anyway. So yeah, essentially, as Sean said, my name's James Burke. I'm delivery manager for VGC Group, part of the team that is working to deliver labour on BBV in the region, as well as the M42. We've got a bit of work with Morgan Sindall. So there's a lot of opportunity for us in the region. We engage with RMF very regularly, Fresh Start, but also earlier in the year, collaboratively with one of the other labour suppliers, RMF helped us to provide some opportunities on BBV for some long-term unemployed people from in the region, which was a successful programme. And we're currently doing the same thing at the moment. My slides are frozen, but anyway, well, I think now I can't see. Well, essentially everyone knows the size of HS2. So the opportunities we have on the project are endless. The numbers that HS2 are talking about are numbers that we've never seen before. So for us, programs like Fresh Start are massive in how we are going to help deliver the work in the region, and also help us upskill the workforce once we get them on the projects, which is a massive thing for us. Because essentially we know the skills just eventually aren't going to be there anymore. Sean, are my slides just showing kind of just the VGC group slide, or because that's what I could see?
I'm going to try and get Olivia to move the slide on
Yeah.
a second. So, well, we're doing that, James. I don't know if it's worth. Let's try the conversation. So, in terms of an average week, James, what type of roles are VGC looking to try and promote for regional people?
Well, essentially, Sean, anything from Gen Ops all the way through to supervisors, foremen. So we're looking for essentially any skill set. We can, if the people are there, we can plug them and place them where we need to if their skill set fits. As I said, the program we went through with RMF earlier in the year was for people that had never been on construction projects before, whereas we're also engaging with RMF to get people slinger tickets, ADT tickets, dumper roller tickets. So we're looking essentially for everything, if that answers your question.
Yeah, that's fine. And I think really, again, if I was a resident, the questions I'd probably want to pose are, have you got enough people currently available on your talent pool to satisfy the HS2 contract and other contracts you've got in the region, or do you feel as though you need more?
Yeah, we're always going to need more. So the answer to that would be the talent pool and the databases that we have at the moment. Essentially, is you're getting to the end of the line with that kind of stuff. And as I mentioned earlier, the numbers that we're talking about are numbers we've never seen before. So we are going to need local people to help us, deliver these programs. And for me, I think Tom mentioned and Rita, it's the legacy factor as well. If when this project finishes in 5-10 years time, the skill sets that we aim to leave behind will be a lot higher than when we arrived. Essentially, we're doing a lot of work already to try and upskill people, and that is the aim, is the legacy piece at the end, delivering the project and leaving a legacy.
Okay, no, I appreciate that, and I think it's always that relevance to say, well, we all see these projects looming in the skyline or changing our communities in terms of visual. It's just sometimes understanding how you access that. So the traditional route of knocking on the site gate and asking if the right person was available at the time, we want to try and remove that, and we want to make it real for these jobs clubs so that real people like yourself, Tom and Rita, exist. So yeah, it's not a fiction of somebody's imagination. And actually the accessibility to the work and how you would go about accessing that work becomes real at the same time. So it should be a matter of a phone call, a click to a website, a click to a link, and then make that opportunity feel real for people. And equally, it's good to see in the chat that we've got one of our residents that's actively looking to fill a skill gap that moves person closer into work that potentially all three of you are offering. And then within 1 minute, we get a response. So we want to be in a position where we can give people the responses we want, and hopefully that are the positive ones. So fingers crossed we can make those things happen. So thanks for that, James, and hopefully again between Rita, Tom and James, we can have her along at future sessions. And my vision is, as we move forward, we can do that in a semi-virtual way, but actually take experiences from site so people can see those projects in live, and actually real people that might live next door or just down the street that are actually working on those sites at the same moment in time. So no, thanks for our three presenters today. I think it's really useful now that we could probably flit across to Priya as RMF representative for today, just to do a refresh around Fresh Start and making sure people are aware and clear on how to progress that opportunity in terms of applying for the positions that have been talked about today. And equally, would be remiss of me, Tom, and I didn't ignore it. I would equally love you to be the best social value employer in this region, but unfortunately, I can't be as biased. And I'd hope that every one of our regional employers is successful in terms of converting people into roles from whichever community and whichever background they come from. So yeah, I think it's a good point for you, Priya, now.
Yeah. Can everyone see the slideshow okay? Just check. Great. So my name's Priya. So I work for RMF and I cover the marketing and training for RMF. So it's more about talking about the opportunities that we have at RMF and also Fresh Start, which you probably heard a lot in the conversations with a lot of the employer and the guest speakers today. So with Fresh Start, it does cover, obviously, it benefits employers as well as the trainees and job seekers. So on the slide, you'll probably see that all the benefits from the employers and the trainees. So from the employer's point of view, they can create profiles, so they can set up their own profile. They can post jobs, vacancies on there. They can also hire top talent. So that could be, that would be inclusive talent as well. So we have a wide variety of candidates that join Fresh Start and they look for jobs on there. So, it's very good in terms of accessing employees. From a trainee's point of view and a job seeker's point of view, they can create profiles themselves and they can upload their CVs just to make themselves available for jobs, and they can apply for vacancies. So a lot of the vacancies on there, they're uploaded every other day. So we have live vacancies that come in and our staff at RMF, they upload those onto the system. And for anyone that doesn't need to see it, I have shared the link on the conversation for Fresh Start. It's www.rmf-freshstart.co.uk. So if you've got any questions about that, I'm happy to help as well after the session, and just drop me an email. So just to give you a bit of a roundup of RMF and our training offer. So for anybody who's joined the call and wants to do training, hasn't got a CSCS, hasn't got CPCS, we've got two routes. So we offer a CSCS, which is health and safety in construction, and then we do the CSS touchscreen. So our route, it's 4 weeks for that, and it's online. So as long as you're able to access that online on Zoom, then that's great. Then we can offer that to you. And then we also have the CPCS route. So if anybody who has already got a CSCS card and they want to join and do a dumper roller, they want to do an ADT course, they might want to do traffic marshal, we can offer that to you as well. And that will be based at our Withall training site. I'm not if you've heard, we've got some trainees that are on the call at the minute, so they're probably there at the minute as well. But yeah, if you've got any questions about the training, I am here and I've got my email that I can share at the end. So why RMF? So we have obviously a lot of training courses that we offer, but our unique selling point is that we have, real life training site. We've got a 22-acre site. So on that 22-acre site, we cover training for ADT, traffic marshal, dumper roller. We've had 360 excavator on there as well. So that can be, if we have got a lot of demand for that, we may be able to put that course on. And we have our trainers that work very hard on site. We give full support. We've got employment advisors in-house as well. So they keep in touch with our learners and make sure that they're happy. And if they need any extra support on the course, then they've got that then. And we also work with a lot of the employers. So a lot of the employers that have spoken today as well, we work with them very closely just to increase the chances of jobs for people once they finish their training. So we don't just train, we get people into work. And a lot of the case studies you'll see at the bottom of the slide, you'll see Iman on the left and you'll see David on the right. So obviously men and women, we encourage men and women to join all our courses. And, it's great that we've had Iman that's come from, having no qualifications at all to now being a site supervisor. So she's done brilliantly. But yeah, it's just to give you a bit of a nutshell about RMF and then the types of case studies that we have and the success rates as well that we offer.
I appreciate the update, Priya, because I think it's always relevant that individuals have as much access to information as possible. I suppose from this point, we've heard from the panel presenters, we've heard from RMF Fresh Start. This is where I'd probably take a little bit of a liberty to say, well, actually, let's look ahead to potentially December and January sessions. And I can see a colleague from Galliford Try on the call today, so I'm probably going to put her under pressure a little bit because this wasn't rehearsed, folks. So just bear with us and hopefully get the right answer. So Dawn, good afternoon, and thanks for joining.
Good afternoon. Sorry about being late.
No, no need to apologise.
I'm having real problems getting on.
It's always good for us to see other regional employers that join us in terms of understanding what competitors and complementers are doing regionally. And equally, for those that don't know, Galliford Try involved regionally with quite a lot of successful projects. An active one that I'm really a huge fan of in Perry Bar in terms of the train station redevelopment. So Dawn, if I was to make an approach for you for maybe our next or January session in terms of Jobs Club, is this something that you think Galliford Try would be keen to be engaged on?
Yeah, absolutely, we would. We are working with our RMF at the moment, and we've got a training hub on site. Perry Bar is a very small project, unfortunately, so we don't have huge amounts of people on there at the moment, but we have just won another project in the city and we are bidding for quite a few more. So we are keen to do as much as we possibly can to support.
Okay, yeah, well, the whole intention, folks, is every month that goes by, we will come back repeatedly and have other employers that are actively working in this region to allow opportunities and access to positions that exist. What we want people to do is access them, grab them with both hands. We've had a very successful jobs event that happened in Aston Villa Football Club this week, where a large number of potential recruits were looking for opportunities, and hopefully we've been able to engage with those on the ground. But these sessions online, we want to continue. We want to make them innovative, and we want to make sure that people have got real access to real employers and real jobs that exist. So hopefully from today, there's been another batch of information that's been really useful. Hopefully people take that away and can progress and do something successful around that. It's really good to see the diversity of the attendance that comes through these sessions, and we're always trying to pitch it at I suppose at a point that it doesn't matter who you are. So you're either a job seeker, you're an active stakeholder partner that's looking to help individuals who are employed or looking for work, and then equally those employers. So hopefully there's been something for everybody today, and then I look forward to seeing you all very soon. And if not prior to the Jobs Club, in the December Jobs Club that we'll be running. So thank you, folks, again. And we'll post this opportunity up to YouTube as we do with everything, so that everybody else can access further today. So thanks very much for your time. Thanks very much to our presenters, and hopefully see you all again soon. Cheers now.